It all began with a betrayal no one saw coming. A single rumor that exploded into a storm bigger than Brooke Schofield, bigger than Tana Mongeau, and even bigger than their unstoppable podcast, canceled. When Tana exposed whispers about Brooke's fiancé being caught in a cheating scandal, the internet didn't just listen. It erupted. Overnight, fans who once screamed their names on sold-out tours were now dissecting text messages, side-eyes, and shady comments, wondering if the man Brooke trusted most had secretly betrayed her. But this wasn't just another scandal. This was the spark that pulled back the curtain on something darker. Because behind the laughter, the millions of streams, and the viral clips, canceled was already bleeding. And when the cheating rumor surfaced, it didn't just humiliate Brooke. It exposed cracks that had been spreading for years. From the outside, canceled looked invincible. A cultural storm that dominated Spotify and Apple charts. Live shows sold out from Los Angeles to London. Clips racking up millions across TikTok and YouTube. To fans, it felt untouchable. Like Brooke and Tana had built a media empire that no amount of drama could bring down. But that's the thing about illusions. They hide the truth until it's too late. Behind the stage lights and glossy success, resentment was brewing. Fights off mic, silent rivalries, old wounds that never healed. Podcasts don't collapse because of numbers. They collapse because of what happens in the shadows. And the scandal involving Brooke's fiancé wasn't just a headline. It was the knife that sliced open everything they had been trying to bury. It started as a whisper, a private suspicion. Then Tana spoke. In her raw, unfiltered way, she let slip that Brooke's fiancé might not have been loyal. And once she said it, there was no way to take it back. Fans froze. Did Brooke know? Was Tana protecting her, or was she weaponizing the truth? Within hours, speculation turned into wildfire. Screenshots circulated. Threads lit up with theories. Some insisted it was just shade for clout. Others swore Tana had receipts she wasn't ready to show. For Brooke, it was devastating. Her co-host, the person sitting across from her every week, had just thrown her most private pain into the arena of public entertainment. It wasn't just betrayal from a fiancé. It was betrayal from a friend, and the fallout was immediate. Every eye turned toward Brooke, dissecting her reactions, replaying old clips for signs she knew. Suddenly, every smile looked forced, every silence looked heavy, and the question haunted fans everywhere. Was canceled really about to implode, not from declining streams, but from the implosion of Brooke's own relationship? While the cheating scandal burned online, another fracture was already widening behind the scenes. Brooke's longtime best friend, BB, suddenly wasn't standing by her anymore. Fans noticed it first. The unfollow, the missing tags, photos where Brooke's name had vanished, as if BB was scrubbing her from their shared history. For a duo that once looked inseparable, the silence was deafening. But if you had been paying attention, maybe it wasn't so shocking. Months earlier, during Canceled's European tour, Brooke had hired BB to be her assistant, a decision that everyone around her predicted would explode. And it did. Brooke opened up about it on the podcast, admitting that things spiraled so badly she ended up firing her best friend. It wasn't just about miscommunication. It was about trust. And trust was exactly what Brooke was already losing everywhere. In her fiancé, in her co-host, and now in her closest friend. The breaking point came in the most unexpected place, on the water. Brooke had one dream for the trip, to rent a boat. It was her one request, the thing she swore would make the exhausting tour worth it. But day after day, BB failed to make it happen. Excuses piled up. Websites weren't in English. Options were unclear. And then, suddenly, Tana found a boat herself. What should have been a perfect day turned into Brooke's worst nightmare. Instead of celebrating on her boat, Brooke boarded Tana's, and the resentment followed her on deck. It started with a spilled drink. BB set her glass on the seat. Brooke stood up, and the liquid drenched her shoes. Instead of apologizing, BB shot back. "Why would you stand up if the drink was there?" That was it. A small accident turned into an all-out war. Brooke fuming, BB rolling her eyes, Tana and the rest watching in disbelief as the two best friends screamed across the boat like it was an episode of Bad Girls Club. What should have been laughter on calm waters became a public humiliation. And looking back, fans saw it for what it really was, a metaphor for everything collapsing. Brooke didn't just lose her boat that day. She lost BB. After Brooke aired their messy fallout on Cancelled, BB didn't stay silent. Clips of the boat fight story spread online, and BB jumped into the comments to defend herself. She denied being fired. According to her, she chose to step away before the Australia leg of the tour because their fight was so explosive it shook a 7-year friendship. She insisted she wasn't the villain, painting a very different version of the story Brooke told on the mic. Fans immediately split into camps. Some said Brooke was exaggerating to make herself look like the victim. Others argued BB was trying to rewrite history to protect her image. But what made it worse was timing. All of this unfolded while whispers about Brooke's fiancé were still circling. To outsiders, it looked like Brooke was losing everything at once: her partner, her co-host's loyalty, and now her best friend. And just when the drama couldn't get messier, another name surfaced: Lauren Sanderson. For longtime fans of Cancelled, Lauren wasn't just another girlfriend in the mix. She was part of one of the podcast's most infamous stories, the Mindy drama. Years earlier, Brooke had admitted she had a crush on Lauren, only for Tana to start flirting with her. The tension almost destroyed their friendship back then. Now, BB was dating her. At first, Brooke seemed supportive, even relieved. She admitted on the podcast that she always feared if BB dated a girl, it might pull her away. But with Lauren, she felt safe. They were all friends after all. But behind the smiles, fans weren't convinced. Old wounds never really heal, and Lauren's name carried too much history. To see BB with her while Brooke's own relationship was under attack felt like salt in an open wound. And once again, speculation ran wild. Was Lauren the reason Brooke and BB finally broke? Or was BB simply moving on from a friendship that had already been poisoned by the chaos of the cheating scandal? If the fiancé scandal and the boat fight weren't enough, another hit came from where Brooke least expected it: Tana's own circle. Tana's best friend Ashley had always been blunt about not vibing with Brooke, but this time the shade was impossible to ignore. For Tana's birthday, Ashley created a custom Guess Who game, swapping out the usual characters for people in their friend group. Everyone else got glamorous shots, perfectly lit, smiling, looking like celebrities. But Brooke's card? A blown-out, awkward photo highlighting her forehead in the worst way possible. Fans spotted it in Amari's vlog, and the reaction online was instant. Comments flooded in. "That's just mean! This isn't funny, it's bullying!" And, "Tana, how can you laugh when your bestie is being dragged like that?" To outsiders, it was more than a bad photo. It was symbolic. It screamed what many had been whispering. Brooke wasn't fully accepted in Tana's world. She was tolerated when convenient, mocked when she wasn't around, and used as the butt of inside jokes. And the worst part? Tana laughed. She played along. She didn't defend Brooke, didn't shut it down, didn't remind her friends that this was cruel. She smiled. And for Brooke, that smile might have hurt more than the cheating rumor itself. Because it wasn't just her fiancé she couldn't trust. It was her co-host. By now, the internet was a war zone. Fans no longer watched Cancelled to laugh. They dissected every frame, every look, every word for signs of betrayal. Team Tana painted her as the truth teller, the one unafraid to call out Brooke's cheating fiancé and protect her from further heartbreak. They argued that Brooke should be grateful, not resentful. Team Brooke saw it differently. They believed Tana had weaponized the rumor, exploiting her co-host's private pain for entertainment and clout. To them, Brooke was trapped, surrounded by friends who laughed at her and a fiancé who betrayed her. And then there was Team BB. They accused Brooke of being controlling and selfish, insisting that BB was right to step away. For them, the boat meltdown was just proof of Brooke's inability to separate work from friendship. Twitter threads stretched for miles. TikTokers broke down body language from old episodes, convinced Brooke and Tana were sending coded messages of resentment long before the scandal. Reddit lit up with conspiracy theories. Did Tana leak the cheating rumor on purpose to kill Canceled before Brooke could leave her? Was Ashley's shady game gift a planned move to isolate Brooke completely? Did BB's new relationship with Lauren play into Brooke's unraveling? Theories piled up, but one truth was clear. Canceled was no longer a podcast. It was a soap opera, and every fan was choosing a side in the war. At first, people thought Canceled might survive it. After all, scandals had followed Tana her entire career, and she always bounced back. Brooke seemed quieter, but maybe they'd patch things up. Maybe the cheating rumor would fade, just another headline in the endless cycle of influencer drama. But this time, it was different. The cheating scandal wasn't just gossip. It hit Brooke at her core, exposing her fiancé, humiliating her publicly, and reminding everyone that her personal life was as chaotic as the podcast itself. And once that wound opened, everything else poured in. BB walking away, Lauren's name resurfacing, Ashley shading her, and fans no longer laughing with her, but at her. Canceled didn't drift off quietly, it combusted. The sold-out tours ended with forced smiles. The podcast episodes grew heavier, less playful. By the final recordings, you could see it in Brooke's face. The exhaustion, the resentment, the weight of betrayal. And in Tana's eyes, the spark wasn't friendship anymore. It was survival. For Tana, the scandal was just another page in her book of chaos, another storm she could ride. For Brooke, it was the undoing of her identity. She wasn't just the girl exposed by a cheating fiancé. She was the co-host nobody in Tana's world seemed to respect. The podcast didn't die from lack of numbers. It died because the bond between its hosts was poisoned beyond repair. So was the end of Canceled written the moment Tana exposed Brooke's fiancé? Or was it already doomed, long before, when Brooke stepped onto a boat she thought was hers and realized she was no longer steering anything in her own life? Because scandals don't always destroy people. Sometimes they reveal who was already breaking. Brooke lost her partner, her best friend, and her co-host's loyalty, all in the same storm. And fans will argue forever about who was at fault. Was Tana ruthless? Was Brooke fragile? Or was Canceled simply a mirror of internet fame itself, explosive, chaotic, unsustainable? One truth remains undeniable. The cheating rumor wasn't just gossip. It was the trigger that exposed everything Brooke tried to hide. And in the end, it wasn't just her fiancé who betrayed her. It was everyone.